Billy Beige here, and today we're looking at Mythic Legions All-Stars 6, BOTHAR SHADOWHORN. Who is an evil dwarf? Scallybone Slitter was not the first evil dwarf, and he will not be the last, I imagine. But BOTHAR has where he is, was it a distant cousin? Distant cousin of Thord Ironjaw. And, you know, his clan fell to the sway of Aether, and now we have this badass evil dwarf. And let's go ahead and just start unboxing him to take a look at what he comes with, because at least with the dwarfs, or the old school dwarfs now, because we have where we're getting new dwarfs in the Rising Suns wave. We're Year of the Dwarf, finally getting some attention, finally getting some updates, getting some new parts. It's a good investment, I'm just saying. But BOTHAR comes with pauldrons, all the back pegs. He comes with a dwarven axe and an optional piece to make it into a double-sided axe. A old school crossbody belt. He comes with a sword that falls out of the package, but it's the long, great sword there, a small dagger, and a plethora of beard hair. And already I'm excited to have this guy. I do adore the dwarves. And BOTHAR was one of those dwarves that had where he commanded a higher price on the secondary market. And, at the time, beginning of collecting Mythic Legions and everything, the prices on the secondary market, would be, if it was a little less than double the price, it was worth getting. Now, with All-Stars, it plummets that. And I mean, that's how it worked with those. But now I have BOTHAR, and now I can review him. So let's get him put together and see what's up. Okay, so I'm noticing in All-Stars 6, no one remembers how a dwarf neck peg goes, because neck peg goes to the front. It goes to the front to make him squatter, more dwarfish. It doesn't go to the back to make it taller. I mean, I understand the idea. Maybe, oh, you thought you put it goes there. It goes to the front. So if you have yours and it has where it's twisted to the back, twist to the front, so then you can have where he is in his full dwarven glory. Just a reminder. And before I get too far ahead in here, I wanted to go over the dwarven axe, because this may be the first time you've seen a dwarven axe, because it's been a little bit. But if you have this, it is hard plastic. So when you go to mess around with it, because you can take these spikes off, just take your time and spin and pull. And this one also comes off. You spin and pull it, and then also the spike on the bottom comes off. So just spin and pull it. So yeah, that's all here. I kind of wish it had where did that come off? That would be amazing if this piece come off, but I don't think it does. It never did before, but man, that would have been great if it did. Just that came off too. If only. But you have your other, piece here. You could stick it at the end here if you wanted to. You could stick it here if you wanted to. You could stick it on top if you wanted to. The sky's the limit for how many number of these you have. So do with it what you will. You can really get creative and just put these spikes anywhere you want to. They're all interchangeable. But I just wanted to let you know. And just be careful when you take them off. I warned you. And here's BOTHAR SHADOWHORN with his pauldrons, his great dwarven axe. He's a whole mood here, because he's gunmetal armor. He's got bronze accents, the horns there, the wash on his beard. I really love the dwarf design. I mean, it has very unique parts to him still. Even though they are, they're a bit dated at this point, but it had the unique, shorter thighs, shorter shins, the shorter forearms, and its Mythic Legion dwarfs are just so spot on. They're great. But again, we have new dwarfs coming with the Rising Sun wave, which should, in theory, from what they've updated, be shipping from China by the end of the year. But I still think Bothar is a great figure. Now, let's take a look at his dwarven articulation. Articulation on Bothar Shadowhorn. Now, he is a fully armored character, so it's gonna be something. And this again is not the Valiant Knight style upper arms or anything like that. It's all the original 1.0 Knight body stuff and dwarven parts in there. So with that dwarven neck peg, he has where his head can go so far up, so far down. But because of that dwarven neck peg, it doesn't have where it's impeded by his pauldrons. Now with his pauldrons, they can go up rather far there. So you should be able to get him into like a full kind of T-pose there. But if you take the pauldrons off, you get to see the rest of that night body. It doesn't go much more. It's like a fraction bit more. Yeah, that's more of the complete T-pose there. It's like a little bit more, but it is what it is. He has where you can twist his arm all the way around without the pauldrons on there. He has hinges at the elbow. Let me unlock the focus. He has hinges at the elbow. Focus. Yeah. It doesn't quite hit a 90. So yeah, there's that. But he has a twist at the wrist, and he has that twist at the elbow. So you don't need a bicep right there. The horizontal hinges on the wrist. Twisted wrist. I think I just said that. He has a ball joint at the waist. He can go so far forward, and then, tuck the beard out. So far back, and then he has side to side some. It's really got to work it on there. And obviously you twist them all the way around if you wanted to. Maybe. I don't know why you want to do that, but hey, it's your toy. His legs have where he can hinge out all the way thanks to the soft plastic of the waist stuff, the waist armor. He has where he can kick so far forward. He can kick so far back, and it kind of gets stopped by the pelvis there. His butt stops it. He still has where he has the twist at the top of the thigh, even though really that's like mid-thigh for him because of his dwarf legs. And then he can kick back to, I'd give it right on a 90 still with how it's sculpted and everything. Hinge so far back on the ankle. Hinge so far forward. You can twist to the ankle. And then, of course, you have that generous ankle rocker on there. And since he's got big feet, you should be able to balance him out so he doesn't tip over. And yeah, again, this is that original articulation from the original Kickstarter, and for like a lot of the line, this is what we got. But it was more about like the look, the style, and the character. Now we have new stuff coming, and I'm excited for it. But I do still dig Bothar. He's just something. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can mess around with his horns. They're removable. Just saying. Just another thing before I forget it. Here's Bothar Shadowhorn with Gorthok, Clavian, Deacon, and Sir Enoch, and insult to injury, Baradact with the leg extenders I made. So, do I think you need Bothar Shadowhorn in your collection? If you have where you're a dwarf fan, you definitely have where you already ordered multiples of Bothar Shadowhorn. I know you, and I know you did. But if this is one of your like choices for like a first figure, I do think it's a little bit more interesting. This again more personal than Clavian and Gorthok. But if I had where I had a choice, if it was Bothar Shadowhorn or Sir Andrew, I'm probably going to pick up a Sir Andrew. But I do like Bothar enough to have where it's like, yeah, if I had where I didn't have him in the all-in, because again, $37 pre-order, $49.99 retail and shows, and direct from Four Horsemen at shows too. I'd still want to pick one up because I like dwarves, so I have where it's like, yeah, I would need him, and I do like the armored look. I think the armor still holds up for the look of it, but articulation wise, it's very limited. Now, if you had where you picked up any of the gunmetal armory knights, I would say, hey, if you have a Bothar, if you can get a Bothar, and you already have an armory knight, pop and swap that guy and update him and give him some, bronze accents on that armory knight armor there, and make your own Bothar version 2. And I really hope we do get like a fully armored dwarf in a version 2 coming up soon at some point, because we're getting Otho. We know we're getting Otho. We don't know what else we're going to be getting. It'll just be like, that'll be basically our All-Stars is what that's going to be when that starts happening. But it'll have as a version 2 instead of a reprint of that original figure. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you a dwarf fan? Please be loud, because dwarf fans are louder than they are in numbers, but they make up for it with being loud. Let me know if you have 2 Bothars. You're building a Bothar army. How you say Bothar. It depends on the day. It depends on the sentence with me. But let me know down in the comments below. If it's your first time here, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, guys.